guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. For today's video, I am going to be doing another one brand tutorial, and today we are going to be using just Forever52. Now Forever52 I feel like is a very quality mid-range makeup brand wherein you get amazing products at okay prices. If you can get them at discount, then nothing better than that. But there are so many products from this cosmetic company that I've ended up falling in love with. Of course, there are some misses here and there, and I am going to be giving you guys mini reviews all throughout the video. So without any further ado, if you want to know how I got this look, which honestly is a very beautiful and glam look, then please keep on watching. My skin is all nicely prepped, so let's start with the first product. I have their moisture base, which is a pre-makeup primer, and I love the fact that it comes in an airless pump, so there is no air contamination happening. And as they mention, it's a moisture base. Even though this is pore filling, it does not feel drying on the skin. So I'm going to start from the centers of my face because that is the area where I have the most amount of pores, and I'm actually going to just pat this into my skin rather than rubbing it around. Rubbing ensures spilling, and you don't want that. When you pat it in, it actually fills into the pores, and as I said, this does not feel drying on the skin at all. So even if you are from the dry skin type, you can easily get it. A lot of pore filling primers or like silicone primers can feel very drying on the skin. Thankfully, this one does not feel dry at all. Alrighty, let's move on to the foundation. Now I have the Pro Artist Ultra Definition Foundation with me right here. I am in the shade Pralines, which is a beautiful warm color. It matches me perfectly, and this is as full coverage gets. So you literally need just a pump of it. You don't need a lot because this, as I said, is as full coverage gets. So I'm just going to warm this up on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to dot it all over my face before we move on to blend it out. You want to make sure you start with a little bit of this foundation, because if you use a lot of it, it might end up looking a little cakey on your skin. But if you use just the tiniest amount, you blend it out. You just need to like pat it into place. You don't need to do a lot, and you can see how easily and beautifully it blends out and how much of coverage does this have. I am so impressed with this foundation, and it's extremely long lasting as well. You can always layer it up. However, I feel like if you layer it up slightly, then it again can look a little cakey. So I would suggest, if you have like extreme discoloration or pigmentation, go in with a little bit of color correcting before this. For me personally, I do not color correct a lot. I don't require so much color correcting, so I can go in with, you know, just a fuller coverage foundation and just get away with that as well. So I'm just blending this out, and while we were talking, I've actually also blended it out in real time. You saw how easy that was. Highly recommend this foundation. It's now time to conceal and highlight, and I'm using the Coverup concealer. Now I've never really tried this, so this is the first time that I am trying this out, and I have the shade Biscuit with me right here, which hopefully is going to be a nice match for me. I am looking for a shade that's a couple of shades lighter to my skin tone because I am looking at highlighting. So I am just going to apply this right in my inner corners and my outer corners. This feels like a gel-like consistency, and I like the flat applicator that we have here. I'm also going to apply it down the bridge of my nose, on my cupid's bow, on my chin, right under where I'm going to be contouring, and also in between my brows and on my forehead. Now is the real test, because we're going to test out how well this blends out. So I have my blending brush with me right here. I'm going to start just stippling this into place. I generally like to just stipple my concealer into place, and ooh, that blended out nicely and very easily. So we're just blending it into place, but by the end of the video, I will be able to give you more of my opinions on this one, but it feels very lightweight. I feel like this is not going to be something that's going to be very heavy to wear, but something that's going to be very easy to wear. But I want to see how well it would cover up my under eyes, because that again is the real test of a concealer. And don't worry about the unblended marks right here. I will be going back with my foundation brush and just going over all of those areas to ensure we have no unblended areas right there. But can you see how easily it's blending out and how beautifully? First impressions, I feel like I like it, but again, let's do the under eyes first. So I'm again just blending this in place. I'm stippling this in place. I'm not moving this a lot, and I'm just going to make sure that I have nice and lifted eyes right there. That coverage looks beautiful, and it does not feel like I have anything under my eyes. Like I cannot feel the weight of the concealer at all. I think I'm gonna like this concealer. I have been looking for a new lightweight concealer for a while now, like a gel-like consistency, a serum gel-like consistency, and I feel like this is going to fill into that gap. But Yeah, I'm really liking it, but again, I'm going to test it out for a couple of more days and probably like leave a pinned comment down below letting you know more about my thoughts on this product. But now, let's just blend everything out and make it seamless. As I said, going in with my foundation brush to make sure there are no unblended areas on my face. Now it's time to set the base down with a little bit of powder so that it lasts all throughout the day. I have their two-way cake with me right here and I have the shade Cameo. Now I'm highly impressed with this powder. It looks and feels a lot like the MAC Studio Fix powder and it just works so beautifully. So I'm just going to take a powder brush and I'm going to coat my powder brush with this, dusting off the excess. I am just going to press it down on my under eyes while looking up so that the creasing can be delayed a little bit. Now, of course, if you have oily skin, feel free to just set the rest of your face. For me, because I have dry skin type, I just like to set my under eyes into place because those crease no matter what skin type you have. And I also like to set my smile lines because again, I talk and express a lot and that tends to crease on me. But again, if you have oily skin, set the rest of your face. This is a really beautiful powder. It does have a little bit of coverage as well. So if you are looking for a dupe for MAC Studio Fix Compact, definitely try this one out. Let's move on to contouring now, and I have Glambo with me right here. I literally just opened it, so it's going to be the first time I'm going to be using this one, and this is in the shade Barbie doll. Now I'm going to be using a separate blush and highlighter, however this is a trio, so let's just open it up. Oh, okay. I saw this for the first time and this says it is meant for contouring, but it actually has like a really shimmery bronzer. So I don't think we're contouring today. I just think we are going in with a nice bronzer, like a shimmery bronzer. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this because I don't know the pigmentation of this product and I don't want to look like an Oompa Loompa. I'm dusting off the excess and I'm just going to pat this down right here, and this is pigmented. So thankfully I went in with a very light hand and this looks very pink. Yikes. I don't have a proper contouring product from Forever 52. I generally just use like darker shades of concealer for contouring, but this is not it. But let's just like go ahead with this only. I'm using a very little amount, a very little amount just to apply right here, just to get like a sun-kissed look. We are definitely not contouring. This is not even like a proper bronzer. I feel like this is a blush and bronzer mix sort of a look. So I'm just going for that. I'm also going to apply it on my temples. Ooh, we went in with a little too much. We have to blend this out. I'm taking another touch of it. I don't know why I'm attempting this Khatro Ke Khiladi stunt when I realized this might not be it. But I'm also going to apply this to my chin. Yep, definitely shouldn't have attempted this stunt. I will have to go back in with my powder brush and blend all of this out because this situation is getting a little out of hand. Overall, my thoughts on Glambo are if you're looking for a blush that's very brown and just sun-kissed, then maybe you can look at it. But as a contour, this is a definite no-no from my side. Now let's move on to their Cheek Pop blush, which I really like. They're matte, they're beautiful. I have this shade Bubbly with me right here. And I also love the fact that they have like a push open to it. So you don't have to dig your nails to open all of that up, because if you have nail extensions or just weak nails, you would understand the struggle. But I'm going to take a touch of this again because these are also highly pigmented and they would last you for a really long time. So I'm just taking a touch of it, dusting off the excess, and again I'm just tapping it into place. I'm going to start from the apples of my cheeks where I want my blush to be really nice and prominent, and then I'm going to move back into that bronzer disaster that we have going on, and I'm going to make sure I blend it into that as well. So we are just tapping it. You can obviously build up the intensity to whatever color you like. This is a beautiful neutral dusty mauve color. It's so gorgeous. Now I know the name Bubbly might make you feel like it's going to be a hot pink, but it's exactly the opposite of that. So I'm just blushing my cheeks up. Now we're going to move on to highlighter, and I have this Sunkissed Illuminator in the shade 02 with me right here, which is a beautiful golden color, and this is one of those packaging where you will have to dig your nails in, so keep that in mind. But this, you can either keep it quite subtle or you can make it blinding. It is so gorgeous. I'm going to keep it semi-subtle, like not extremely blinding, not extremely subtle. So I'm again just tapping this brush in. I am going to build up slightly. I'm not going in with a heavy hand at first because I am not into like that beaming highlighter life right now. I like my highlighters to be very subtle and very like, I've had 10 liters of water, I'm glowing from within, I have my green veggies and green smoothies and all of that. So I'm just tapping my brush in. If you rub the pigment against itself, it will automatically make it more blinding. That's just how mica and pigments work. So I am just tapping this in first, and of course if I want to go slightly more boom, I can just do a little bit of this. But once I'm done with applying this all over the highest points of my face, we are gonna move into setting our face down with a fixing spray. I have their long wearing makeup fixer with me right here, and the mist on this one, look at how fine that is. That is fine. So I'm just gonna take a quick little shower. It does have a lot of fragrance though, and it does get into your nostrils. So if you are not a fan of fragrance, then you feel like you can't, breathe. If you have a lot of fragrance around you, definitely skip this one. We are up close and personal because I'm going to be starting off with my eye makeup. Now I don't have a brow filling product from Forever 52, but I do have a brow gel. This is their stroke brow gel, which is supposed to be a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. It looks exactly like that, and it does come with a spoolie. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brush my brows through to ensure there is no foundation that's stuck into them, or there are no knots or tangles in my brows. Yes, your brows can get tangled, especially if you have like long brow hair. Now my brows are very tricky, and honestly like nothing can make them stick upright, and this seem to does it for a bit, not the longest amount of time, so you don't want to take a lot of it. So I'm just running this through my brow hair like that, and once I'm happy with the way my brow hair are looking, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to press it down so that it sticks into place. Now again, as I said, my brow hair are very tricky, so nothing seems to work on it. So I'm not judging this product at all because my brow hair are very stubborn. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to push this product up my brows like that. I just filled in my brows a little bit, and you can see my eyebrows are back to their normal place. My eyebrows literally cannot stay like upright, so I have stopped wishing for soap brows because I know that's not gonna happen for me ever. So if you have eyebrow hair that are very stubborn, I wouldn't really suggest this brow gel to you. If you have eyebrow hair that are very malleable and listen to you, then you would really like it. But let's move on to the eyeshadows now. Today I'm going to be using the Sugar Breeze palette, which is a beautiful neutral palette with a little bit of warmth and a little bit of pink in there. Perfect for everyday use. You can get so many beautiful looks out of this palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the shade Saccharine. I hope that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. I'm not really sure. And I'm starting with a nice fluffy blending brush. I am just going to place this in my crease as my first transition color, and this would also bring some warmth to my crease because this is a beautiful coral color. I'm moving on to another blender brush. I'm going to pick up the shade Candied Pearl, which is a deeper coral color now. With this color, I'm only going to concentrate this on the outer corners, and you can see these are so pigmented, but they're very easy to blend as well. So they're not patchy at all. The eyeshadow quality of Forever 52, at least the eyeshadow palettes that I have tried till now, are amazing. I love their spooked palette so much, and I use it for so many of my looks as well. So I'm first just depositing this color. So I'm patting the product down, and then I'm going to blend it out. So again, to make sure that we have most of that concentration only on the outer corner and nowhere else. And then I'm going to just take this nice shader blender brush and I'm going to blend this into my crease with the earlier color. Now that is nicely blended out and we have some depth on the outer corners, I'm going to move on to a nice and tiny pencil brush, and I'm going to pick up the shade Dulce, which is a beautiful deep brown color. Now with this shade, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 4-wing liner, but I'm going to do it in a very dramatic way. So I'm not doing like a thin wing liner, but a slightly thicker wing liner, because I am going to be applying gel liner later on to intensify the look up. But we're just applying this on the outer corner. I'm going to pull it out to get a sharp wing on the outer corner. And you then want to bring it towards the center of your lid and blend it out. The shade that we will apply on the center of our lid would hide this slightly. So don't worry if you feel like you've gone slightly thicker than what you intended to initially, because you will end up hiding most of it with our center lid shade. Honestly, I'm slightly confused between candy floss and gumdrops and what I want to put on my center lid. So let's start with gumdrops first. I'm actually going to pick it up on my finger. I am just going to place this on the center of my lid, and you can see that shine. Look at that color though, it's so pretty. So I'm just pressing this down and I am going slightly over the wing liner that we have applied, and we will be smoking it in again. So that was just a nice base for us to have an idea where our wing liner is going to be. But look at that color. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. I'm first going to blend this color into my crease so there are no harsh edges, because I'm not going for a cut crease look, but I'm going for like a blended out look. So I'm taking the first brush that I blended my crease shade with, and I'm just going in circular motions to get a nice even blend going on. I'm going to do that on both of my eyes. And then going in with my pencil brush, I'm going to start smoking that brown into my shimmer shade. Now I've not picked up extra color. I'm using whatever I already have left on the brush and whatever I have underneath that eyeshadow, because I am going for like a slightly smoky look. I don't want it to be supremely defined. So I'm just going back and forth between those two shades. For my lower lash line, I'm actually going to keep it pretty simple. I'm just going to use the first shade that we used in our crease, and I'm just going to add a little bit of depth over there. I don't want my lower lash line to be very heavy, so just using a light shade would add a little bit of dimension without going too overboard. I want all of the tension to stay on my upper lid today with the wing liner and the drama that we are creating. Now for my inner corner, because I do want a slightly more golden highlight, I'm going back in with my face highlighter and a pencil brush, and I'm just going to apply this in my inner corners. And as I told you guys, you can really build it up, and you can see how beaming and beautiful it is in its full potency. And I'm also going to apply it slightly in the inner 1/3 of my lower lash line, just to bring some more light and dimension to my eyes. To give my eyes a little bit of extra dimension, I am going to be using their gel liner, and I am going to be using it with a very detailer brush, because I want a very tight smudginess. I don't want this to be smudged all over, just a little bit. So again, I'm just taking a touch of this gel liner. This is very pigmented and it's very smooth and creamy. You can see even with just a touch, you get a lot of color. So I'm just applying it on the base of my eyeline. So I am literally just rubbing it in between my lashes almost, and then with whatever's left, I'm going to pull it out. I am not going to take it directly like that, because I want a nice gradient smudge going on. I don't want it to look very stark. Alrighty, it's now time for mascara, and I have their XL Lash Mascara with me right here. I like it. It's not my most favorite mascara out there. It adds a lot of length to my lashes, not so much of volume, and it also separates really nicely. But again, I've tried better mascara, so I can't say like this is the best mascara out there. This look is honestly screaming for lashes, so I'm going to apply Forever 52's lashes in the variant Zaria. I'm just going to quickly pop these on and I'll be right back. Lashes just make everything better, don't they? But let's finish off strongly with the lips, and I have the Multitasker palette with me right here. Now I also love their Velvet Rose lipsticks, but I've talked about them a lot of times, so today I thought, you know what, let's show this palette to you guys, because I also love the formulation of these lipsticks. They are pretty long lasting, and today I'm thinking to create my own warm tone neutral shade. So I'm thinking to mix this orange shade and this nude shade together just to create my own little color, and that's the main usage of this palette, that you can create your own shades. You can add in a blue for adding a cool undertone, or yellow for adding a warm undertone, but I'm just creating my custom shade and I'm going to apply it to my lips. Ooh, this is like a beautiful burnt orange color, but I feel like I want a little bit of brown in it, so I'm going to add this shade as well, and I'm going to layer it on. And with that, we are done with this one brand tutorial using just Forever 52, and I'm honestly in love with this look. I love how glamorous yet wearable it is, and hopefully all of those mini reviews helped you guys out as well. But that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this and found this helpful. If you did, then don't forget to comment and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. Also, let me know what other one brand tutorials you guys would like to see, and I would love to do them for you guys. And I'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care. I love you all so much. Bye.